Order. Secretary Forensic, please call the roll.
Nick Redmond. Here. Richard Amy. Anthony Palmer.
Here.
Laura Block.
Here.
Carolyn Dewey. Casey Garvin Hall.
Here.
Charles Meehan.
Here.
Kevin Schmidt.
Here.
Victoria Shepard. Alan Shute. Bill Smith.
Here.
Robbie Egan.
Here.
Sam Lowe. Alex Ferrara.
Here.
Caroline Nathan.
Here.
Taylor Plank.
Here.
Billy Weiss.
Here.
Ryan Woodward.
Here.
George Caswell. Nancy Moore.
Here.
Sarah Fidera.
Here.
Candice Lopez.
Here.
Kevin Lugo.
Here.
Sri Nayak.
Here.
Abdir Rahman.
Here.
Patrick Hill. Mariah Johnson.
Here.
Anthony McComsky.
Here.
John Moran.
Here.
Malcolm Perry.
Here.
John Price.
Here.
Brett Stewart. 26 PMR.
Here.
ACM.
Here.
Action Against HIV/AIDS. Allies.
Here.
Amnesty. APL.
Here.
Art Society. Biosphere.
Here.
Black Student Union.
Here.
Elm Squad.
Here.
Cheers.
Here.
China Club.
Here.
Circle K. Civil War Club. Class of 2011.
Here.
Class of 2012.
Here.
Class of 2013.
Here.
Class of 2014.
Here.
Classics Club. College Democrats.
Here.
College Republicans. College Against Cancer.
Here.
Dance Ensemble.
Here.
Dance Team.
Here.
Cycle Makers Christian Fellowship.
Here.
Adopt the Octave.
Here.
Equestrian Club. FCL. Fencing Club.
Here.
Film Society. Four Scores.
Here.
Guy Pagan Society. Game Club.
Here.
G-Berg TV.
Here.
Gecko.
Here.
German Club. SMUT.
Here.
Habitat for Humanity.
Here.
Ice Hockey. Interfaith Council. International Affairs.
Here.
International Club.
Here.
Fan Club.
Here.
Jazz Appreciation.
Here.
Lawson. Law and Justice.
Here.
Lutheran Student Movement.
Here.
Memory Club.
Here.
Men's Rugby.
Here.
Model FEC.
Here.
Mental Basic B.
Here.
Operation Smile. Owl Nightingale.
Here.
Peace Club.
Here.
Free Health Club.
Here.
Free Vet Club.
Here.
Shanghai.
Here.
SDS.
Here.
Shots in the Dark.
Here.
Scheduled Chemist.
Here.
Society of Physics Students. St. Joe Government. Student Alumni. SAC.
Here.
Swim Club.
Here.
Taekwondo.
Here.
Football Frisbee.
Here.
Upskill.
Here.
Water polo.
Here.
Wiffle ball. Women's rugby.
Here.
Yara.
Here.
Gospel choir.
Here.
I move to approve the minutes of last week's meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay, officer reports. I'm meeting with President Riggs on Wednesday. I also met with the Board of Trustees, College Life Committee this past Friday. On February 21st, Professor Buzz Myers is coming to Senate. And the following senators, please see me after the meeting: Shruti Nayak, Brett Stewart, Carolyn Dooley, David DeBoer, Sarah Fidera, Anthony McComsky, and parliamentarian Richard Ewing. That's it. Nick.
No report.
Matt.
No report.
Richard.
There's going to be, we're talking about the tiebreaking amendment tonight, and then also two resolutions. One is in support of Allies Week, and the other one's Senate reforms.
Yes, Jake.
Sorry, I just had a question for Matt. I missed last week's meeting. Is there any way that the minutes could get out faster?
Yes,
Future
I
event?
apologize for that. I was actually waiting to get one piece of information from someone that I didn't get until just before, so I apologize for that.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Anthony.
Hey guys, I'm starting to update the website now, so I'll be sending out emails to all the clubs. Just if you have any additional information besides the mission statement that went on the registration form through CMS, that's what I'll be putting on the website. But I'll send out an email if there's any other information you want to let me know. And as far as our activities for the task force, we'll be meeting this Friday at 1 p.m. So that'll be our first meeting time. I just want to give you guys an heads up.
Thank you. Any old business?
Motion on table the constitutional amendment. And spring budget.
Thank you. Motion is moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Amendment and budget is on table. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion to roll call. Secretary Kritzek, please call the roll. You're voting on whether to table the budget and move it, I guess effectively, move it to next week. That's the motion on the table.
Well, we can,
However, I will advise that if you do table the budget, it freezes all the accounts and clubs cannot spend the amount allocated. So if you do not pass it now, it will, basically you'll be hindering programs that are upcoming for the following.
Are there any clubs that, do you know of any clubs that are?
Well, this week's Allies and Allies Week, and
There are,
there's a few other
there are a lot of clubs.
Yeah, that's why I was mentioning.
Yeah, that's possible. Can
Well,
we?
you have the authority to rescind your motion.
I would rescind my motion. Can we discuss it after we have the treasurer?
So, motion to move it into, motion to move it before budget request.
Second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Why can't we pass
Roll call.
motion to roll call, is it in seconds?
Second.
Secretary Clinton, please call the roll. You're voting to move it into new business before budget.
So we'll be discussing.
We should just do it.
Yeah, we'll discuss today, just once we have the treasurer.
Yes. Secretary Clinton, please call the roll.
Nick Redmond. Aye. Mike Kritzek, nay. Laura Block.
Aye.
Carolyn Dooley. Casey Garvey Hall. Charles Meehan. Kevin Schmidt. Victoria Shepard. Alan Shoup. Bill Smith.
Aye.
Robbie Egan.
Nay.
Sam Malone. Alex Ferraro.
Nay.
Caroline Nathan.
Nay.
Taylor Plank. Billy Weiss. Ron Woodward.
Nay.
George Caswell. Dave DeBoer.
Nay.
Sarah Cordero. Candice Lopez.
Yeah.
Kevin Lugo. Trudy Nyack.
No.
Adair Rahman.
Nay.
Patrick Hill. Mariah Johnson.
Nay.
Anthony McComsky.
Yes.
Sean Moran.
Nay.
Malcolm Pettit. John Price. Fred Stewart.
Eleven yeses, 17 noes.
I motion to
Motion
pass
is
the
defeated.
spring budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? The semester budget is passed. At this time, I'd like to thank Richard Amy for his service as interim treasurer. I will also now move to appoint Alex Ferraro as treasurer of the student senate. Alex, would you stand for questions, or if there's any? Any questions?
I think you heard it last week. Any questions?
Okay. No questions? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Abstentions? Congratulations. So you may join us, but.
I would like to resign my position as class of 2012 senator, effective immediately.
Due to the vacancy in the junior class, I will be soliciting cover letters and resumes. They will be due to me Wednesday going to Thursday night at midnight. And I'll email the alias later. Oh, cool. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Good evening. 294. That is the number of days since I last addressed this assembly, promising change, but also advise that the path of reform will be one filled with many difficulties. This 100th session of student government at Gettysburg has truly been an historic one. Every week, the floor of the Senate has been a forum for many debates on issues regarding campus culture, the policies that govern the Senate body, and a greater push for fiscal responsibility on both part of the senators as well as the club representatives. We began this academic year with the revisions of the Constitution in September. I asked the senators to pass more checks on the powers of the presidency. And in doing so, our governing doctrine now mandates that all individuals who serve on the board of directors, as well as the executive council, be confirmed by the Senate body. Also, if we can recall, the Assembly put a college sport, men's rugby, on probationary status. I'm happy to report that even though it was difficult at the time, the men's rugby team made a triumphant comeback and now ranks second in their league. However, the meeting that shed light on the flaws of our fiscal policies was the installation meeting that occurred on September 20th. That evening, with Congressman Todd Platts in attendance, a fraternity came forward, sparking a debate that lasted approximately a half hour. After that meeting, I developed a plan of action to review the Senate's fiscal policies, and within a semester's time, under the guidance of the Budget Management Committee, under the leadership of Molly Yingling, and the reorganized Senate Policy Committee under the leadership of Richard Amy, the senators passed a new set of rules that took effect this semester. However, these are only some of the many accomplishments the Senate has achieved over the course of 4 months. Assuming the presidency last April, I wish to compare our student government to our sister schools. Last semester, I took a delegation of 8 individuals to Dickinson College. For one evening, we observed intense debate and gained valuable knowledge. One thing that came from this visit to Carlisle is new friendships were developed and will be fostered, hopefully over time. In the coming weeks, members of the Senate will be visiting Franklin Marshall in Lancaster and McDaniel College in Westminster. And I plan on reporting and debriefing this assembly once I'm able to gather all the information into a succinct presentation. After working with you all over the past semester, I've learned one valuable piece of knowledge, that teamwork is the key to success. One person cannot accomplish all of the things that this body has without the supports of friend and foe, as well as the mastering of the art of delegation. We have disagreed on the issues that have been brought forward throughout the course of the year. However, this assembly, whether in closed session or committee, worked out their differences and compromised for the sake of the students of Gettysburg. In light of recent events, the trust and relationships that have existed prior to the beginning of this semester were tested. I stand before you here and take full responsibility as chief executive of this organization for leading us astray. We are all human, and we have our own moral flaws. I applaud the members of the community that raised their grievances with the Executive Council directly, and did not hide behind the cowardly veil of anonymity. One thing that I've learned from the evaluation of my fellow colleagues on the Executive Council is that you must take ownership over your words and actions, and that words posted in an honest fashion, especially when raising grievances, is not healthy for any party involved and is counterproductive. Also, one thing to take note from all this is that the Constitution held firm throughout this predicament. Aside from the past 2 weeks, I'd like to offer congratulations to several individuals in this very room. I ask the following persons to please rise: Johnny Price, Mariah Johnson, Sean Moran, Malcolm Perry, Brett Stewart, and Tony McComiskey. On behalf of the students at Gettysburg, I would like to offer our gratitude. You 7 have been the most vocal in the room, and I put forward and I put past first-year delegations to shame. You all started with an interesting meeting on the 20th of September and have kept the momentum going. In you, I see a great and healthy future for the Student Senate in the coming years. Thank you. In the coming weeks, let us let bygones be bygones and start anew. We can learn a lot from our past. However, dwelling on it will only send us backwards. We have accomplished great feats more than the past several administrations. The Senate body is more proactive. The club representatives are even more vocal. The senators are more demanding, and I applaud you all for that. I ask that you keep the momentum going and stand strong as a House united. We will now return to governing with 2 task forces underway and a possible review of the honor code. The senators and club reps will have to be more vocal than ever, especially on February 21st. One of the agenda items is a discussion regarding the possible removal of Easter break, as well as the allocation of reading days throughout the course of finals week, presented by Professor Charles Buzz Myers. I ask that you all take this information to your respective meetings and provide a critique of the proposal being brought forward to this assembly by the Faculty Governance Committee. Thank you for your time, good evening, and let us accomplish great work.
So this is a resolution in support of Allies Week, which is going on this week. You guys want to read it? For you guys. Oh. It's just in support of, yeah.
Do we have anything else like this for other, like, sustainability week or something? This would be our first?
This is just an idea that was brought forward, and we're putting it into
Motion to pass, Senate Resolution 003.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Congratulations. No, it's a resolution.
Just like saying we're gonna support.
It's like a signature of the second thing about it.
Next up is David Moore, and he has a resolution that he likes to bring forward to the floor.
Alright, can everyone hear me? Okay. Well, I am just coming before you because I don't know if most of you probably heard that Frank Klein, the library officer, was fired. Recently came as kind of a surprise to a lot of people. I think like the first 1 or 2 days he was here, and he was like, kind of gone, and no one knew why. I was just talking to a lot of people who seemed really concerned about this and why. So I felt that it was my duty to come before you. I'll make sure that the full Senate was informed. So we do have a resolution which you guys all read that. And if you want to, we'll vote on it at the end. But really, I just wanted to kind of get the conversation going and see if you guys had any concerns. Do you pick or?
Anthony.
What happened?
Well, we don't know why. That's why I thought I mean, a couple people tried to contact and ask why, and just kind of got the door shut in our face. So we just wanted, to let them know that someone who's so vocal and visual on campus, we should be
Sarah,
informed as well.
Nick, Jake, and then Casey.
I don't think that department closed would be just randomly fired. So I'm really curious, before we pass this, if we could at all get in touch with Department of Public Safety, or, I mean, I was wondering before.
Yeah, as would I. I mean, I tried, but, one person showing up, they wouldn't have anything. So I thought maybe if Senate as a whole could raise these questions, get some answers. Or answers to mine.
Yeah, I just feel like this is something that should be done more on a personal level, something maybe like circulating a petition of some sort, because I just don't think it's Senate's business to go to DPS and question their practices, when in the past I've never had question to issue DPS's hiring or firing practices. So I feel like that maybe if you did, a couple people asking isn't enough, and you want a better answer, to maybe get more people put on their own, because I just don't know if it's something that, yes, maybe all of us as individual students can put our names on, But as the Senate body, I don't know, personally, I don't think that's the responsibility of this body to question those practices. Rather, it should be something done by us individual students.
Right, and I mean, like, don't let the resolution do it. I just did that just to get the floor time and what is, so we can either, vote on it, not vote on it. I don't really care resolution wise. I just wanted to get the conversation going so everyone's.
Doesn't the school have a right to keep it private? Isn't that all HR's responsibility as to why they fired Frank?
I
think
don't
that,
know.
I mean, oh, sorry,
Yeah, there are some pretty strict laws about when you can divulge publicly about any kind of personnel action, not just in college, but that's the law. You might want to talk with Regina Campo at HR for more detail about just in general what those legal limitations are. Not just in this case, but in general, because that could be a good kind of education piece.
Sorry, I said a little more. Also, I think, I don't think we really have a right to demand an employee be rehired. I know we don't have the right to demand it. It has nothing to do with us.
I like hearing these.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that we could possibly do is to circulate a petition and ask the school to bring him back. But for all we know, he could have done something really bad to get fired. Especially, he could have done anything. So I think that before we even continue this discussion, we should know what happened. And if we can't find out what happened, it's not a worthwhile discussion to have because we could be bringing back someone who did something bad in order to get fired. Just because he was a nice guy and we like him doesn't mean we get to bring him back.
I agree with all that. I think that if we feel strong enough about this, our resolution would be that the student body is concerned. I know a lot of people are talking about in the library, people have come up to meetings and things. But that's not a mandate, that's the back stuff, no. But we could always just say like resolution that student body is concerned about this, just so that Senate is saying that, we have a concern and because we can't demand it. I think by just passing this
The language might have been a bit strong.
Yeah.
I hope that we can refine it.
So just say that we're interested in why this happened because it's taking a toll on the student body.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Frank's wife contacted me on Facebook and wants me to call and talk to him. So, being that student concerns, I imagine that. I could have some kind of look into it, maybe present something more formally to Senate in a week or two. That would be useful if you guys want to see that. So, it's up to you guys, but I thought I'd offer that service.
There is an option to refer the matter to a committee and take it off.
Just what I was going to say is we think it's kind of, I agree with everything that's been said before. We might want to put a motion on the floor and then vote it down just so it doesn't, if it's like floating around, like just kind of, I don't know if you guys agree with that. I just feel like we shouldn't have it there or not voted on because it does seem like it's a weak ground to have that because I don't think it's our business, so I feel like we should just vote it down.
Like I said, my hope is to keep it. So Robbie, if you want it at the end, I'm not motion now, I'm open to the possibility of sending it to the student concerns committee if you're open to that as well.
Jake?
Also, I think before we continue with the discussion, we should also make sure that Gettysburg doesn't have a policy where they won't hire someone back that they've already fired, because I know places do that. If they fire someone, they don't just revoke it and bring them back just because they feel bad about it or the students want it to happen, people want it to happen. A lot of places, if they fire someone, that's it, you've been fired. So I think that you should check into that, because if that's true, nothing we do will help. So you should really check that.
We don't even know if he's really fired, right? He wasn't really anything, right?
I believe he was fired.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously, I want to answer all these questions.
You should ask Hannah.
Where's the source of the information that he was fired? Did that come from Frank himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we heard it. He contacted a couple of students and former students before.
Okay.
I'm going to motion to.
Julie, if you want.
I just motion to vote on.
I was going to motion to.
Julie?
I motion to vote on this resolution.
Second. Are we voting to decline,
Vote to
reject it?
reject this
Up or down?
resolution.
Up or down? In favor or not in favor?
In favor, it just makes it easier. So.
Sure, in favor.
So if you don't like it, you say it.
Well, if you vote nay, you're shooting the resolution down. If you vote yes, you're approving of the resolution. Okay? So there's a motion on the floor. Second, all those in favor? Oh, motion roll call vote. Second,
Say nay,
Secretary Kritzig, please call the roll.
Nick Redmond.
I don't approve of the resolution, so nay.
Alex Fry.
Nay.
Mike Kritzig, nay. Laura Block.
Nay.
Carolyn Dooley.
Nay.
Izzy Garvey Hall.
Nay.
Charles Meehan.
Nay.
Kevin Schmidt. Victoria Shepherd. Alan Shute. Bill Smith. Robbie Eden. Sam Malone. Caroline Nathan.
Nay.
Carol Pike. Billy Weiss. Ryan Woodward. George Caswell. David Labore.
Abstain?
Candice Lopez. Kevin Lugo. Julia Nyack. Abdul Rahman. Patrick Hill. Mariah Johnson. Anthony McComiskey. Sean Moran. Malcolm Perry. John Price. Fred Stewart. Oh, I told you, I thought you said something. Sarah Farrell.
The motion is unanimously defeated with one abstention.
Okay, good. So I'd like to motion to refer it to the students concerned committee so we can work on.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Abstentions? Motion has been approved, resolution has been referred to committee, student concerns, so Robbie.
Can we really expand like what three was, so they're possibly gonna know what to do? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay.
guys can discuss it
Yeah,
after.
okay.
And it'll be a joint with Billy and Robbie. Thank you. Next item on the agenda. Next up is Alpha Phi Alpha requesting $2,300.
For those of you who don't know us, we're the brothers of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, training on campus. And we came to request Senate support for a week of events we have upcoming. It's a mix of social, philanthropic, and educational events. And we submitted a budget proposal to the DMC.
It's part of our yearly initiatives, and like you're seeing, we always have like from this year it's from February 13th to February 19th. On Sunday we're doing Alpha School Church, so we're asking like some people in the community to come out and come to church with us. We're requesting answers for that. And community service SCB. Monday we're having a documentary on boys in Rwanda, which is about 12 boys that came from Baltimore. They're going over to Kenya to like study for that.
With that being said, we actually put viewing rights for the bill, which we need to the actual like,
That's Monday at 7 p.m.
And we've been in contact with Nancy.
Tuesday we're having.
No, I was just saying we've been in contact with
Tuesday we're having a Valentine's Day dinner / Ladies Appreciation dinner right here in Club 260 at 7 p.m. We're just asking for like support for the food and decor for the room.
as well as the keynote speaker.
Wednesday is a comedy show in the Junction. Where we're getting one performer from our campus that was here last year that performed, and also we're asking for shots in the dark to support the event. And Thursday we were having an AIDS awareness seminar workshop. That is, we don't have an location for that yet, but it is from 5 to 7. Yes.
Tony and Candace.
What it means. We are recommending a total of $675. The reason for some of the cuts we made, of the $2,300, about $1,000 of that was requested for prizes, and I think, I'm not sure the way it was worded, the cash benefits and prizes for parts of the week events that they're having. The rest of those requests were for the comedy night and part of their money that was requested for volunteering. I don't think they mentioned this, but Alpha Alpha is considered a fraternity in the sense that the other fraternities and Greek organizations are considered. However, BMC and Senate in the past has not treated these requests any differently than other fraternity requests that we hear for several $100 in favor of a charity support that fraternity will be asking money for. So we feel that because of their non-recognition status and their Greek status as Senate, that the types of events that they're putting on don't warrant the same sort of consideration that other clubs for, and we justify our cuts accordingly.
Candace, Jake.
Didn't we just make a rule that Greek organizations, are you guys recognized by IFC?
No, they're different.
They are? Okay.
They're different. They have their own, like IFC is something, and they have their own, I forget what it's called. Yeah, it's different.
Okay, so does the whatever we passed not for Greek organizations not apply to them? So they just come straight to Senate?
Yes, in terms of Greek organizations, any organization can make a request to Senate, but in the case of this organization, the BMC felt it was necessary to refer to the full Senate for consideration because they have some unique considerations with the way they're set up on campus.
Well, no, I know that, but we just passed that, the whatever.
Jake, just to clarify, we talked about passing a few things regarding how fraternities and sororities were treated when they came to Senate, but we didn't end up passing anything. So there's no specific guidelines other than just non-recognized clubs.
Oh, okay, sorry, that's just what I was asking. I wasn't sure if we passed it or not.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You weren't here, so it's not.
Is there any other questions, or is there a case?
Is there any way we could see a line by line of the requests? I feel like I would have done it.
Yeah, we do.
Have you guys sought funding from any other sources?
When we did, we really didn't have a security advisor on campus, but we have, like, there's an IRC and we have an but we sent some requests to them, but he advised us to see the Senate first because most of the events is like the events on campus, it's not necessarily free events.
No, that's what we asked for. I don't know.
I didn't, Andy never like brought that to me, and I didn't know about it, because like, made that clear to everyone, like, I didn't know about surplus at all, for about any of these events. Like, and, I mean, we have, our operating budget is about $6,400 for the semester, just so everyone knows that also, just in defense of them, I'm not.
For the good of the order, Robbie is the IFC president, so.
Okay, sorry, yeah. I just wanted, just like in defense of them, and I didn't know about it, and that, like I said, our budget is $5,400, barely. Like, it might be a little bit less, actually, I just found out today, so, just so everyone knows, I'm not trying to, but that we don't have the money to give anyways. Not that Senate does either, but I'm just saying.
Jake.
These events are next week. How come you guys waited to come today? Like to come this week? Did something happen, or was it just?
Well, basically in terms of actually reaching out, a lot of the events we take a look at them are dependent on other parties involved, so we've been doing the back end in terms of
Just make sure you have like
people,
speakers and stuff.
debates, and actually finding out if the school has the rights to move here or not, speaking with departments and so on and so forth.
Yes, Alex.
Just to clarify, the BMC is recommending funding for all $400 of documentary screening. We decided that based on prior attendance last year and the way that the event was run last year, we're recommending $225, so half of the $450 for the ladies' appreciation dinner, and $50 for the AIDS awareness seminar for a total of $675. I'm sorry?
What event last year was it?
You guys came to the VMC last year and to send it to request for what was the same event, and based on the advertising, we're just we try and project this year's attendance based on the amount of advertising we saw last year, just to kind of clarify this.
I motion to pass the BMC's recommendation.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations. Next up is the Mercury coming forward for $2,000.
So, for those of you who don't know, the Mercury is the school's literary magazine, and it's released yearly in April. And we're basically asking money for the production of the magazine, for food and refreshments we have for special events, the biggest one being the release party of the magazine. And then most of the rest of the money goes to prizes for winning pieces of each section, because we have art, poetry, nonfiction, and fiction. Like best, or the piece we think is the best one out of each of those. We give a prize to the author.
We're recommending a total of $850. $500 of that request was for prizes that we believe are essential to the message of the literary magazine. $350 is for catering and dining for their kickoff event, and the rest of the money was unlabeled, adding up to a total of $2,000 because the final production costs have not been set yet. BMC has always recommended typically full funding for the Mercury because of production costs and how much it does end up costing, but we are, at this point, considering the limited funds that we have, we're not willing to commit to a number that we're not 100% certain. So we're open to another request in the future whenever that final numbers come out.
Motion to allow.
It was my understanding that you guys recommended the 1100.
I think some of the questions that happened during BMC were, some of the members of the committee were confused between the 1100 being our recommended amount and being the amount that was left over after the $1,100 was what was left for production costs. So I think there was some confusion over what that was for, but our recommendation didn't.
Okay. Just saying we'll still be like 200 short for production.
Right, which is why once the final production costs are known, then it's fully ready to hear the request and fund it. It is essential to the running of the magazine, so we're ready to hear it.
Motion to allow the BMC's recommendation.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Motion to pass $850 Mercury has been held. Next is China Club. Next is China Club coming forward for $1,300.
Hi, I'm Zena for China Club, and we're actually asking for $1,200 instead of the original $1,300. Our events include, we're doing 3 events. We first have a spring event, which is something we did last semester where we asked for $400 for Chinese food and then $250 for movie rights. Then we also are planning to do 3 Tai Chi events where it's $150 per lesson, and 15 people are able to attend, and it's an hour long. And then we're also moving a trip to Philadelphia to the art museum, and we're asking for $100 for school transportation and events on campus.
Any questions?
BMC's recommendation was $434. For the first request of the semester, we typically deduct the club's remaining balance from last semester so that we avoid double allocating money that's already been accounted for. For the Tai Chi requests, we have had other clubs in the past that have come and brought speakers in. The request was for 3, if I'm not mistaken, but the BMC decided that 2 was adequate considering the advertising on campus, which we were pleased to see last semester. The other cut was allocated so that we would give them their base budgets. This is their first request for a total of $434. After the subtractions have been made and the base budget's been factored in, plus the cuts.
Motion to allow the BMC's recommendation.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations. Next is committee reports, if there's no more new business. IT. PR.
No reports.
Senate policy.
Club presidents and reps, I meant to send an email out last week, I'll send it out this week, sorry.
Special events. Sustainability. Okay, student concerns.
I don't know if anyone else has a problem. Someone came up to me and said that they play Glee on Tuesdays in the Commons, which is like a distraction for your homework. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody else uses that and feels the same way, but I'm gonna look into that tomorrow. My busy life. But, yeah, just thought I'd let everyone know.
Are there any concerns from our
Yeah, sorry. Thanks a lot.
Okay, moving on. DMC.
Oh, I do. Just real quick. For those clubs and organizations that are either new this semester, I know some clubs change treasurers and presidents over the winter break. There's 2 documents on the Senate's website, in addition to all the check request form and a couple of other forms that you might need. But all the department numbers for each club, the 5-digit that begin with 40 out there. For those of you who haven't done check requests before or unsure how to make a request for the BMC, there are 2 guides up there that I used last year, and so you're welcome to use those again. In terms of clubs that want to use the budget proposal form on the website, or if you want to develop your own thing, that's completely up to you. Clubs and organizations, whatever you think works best for you. Sometimes events don't fit very well into that form, so we're flexible with that. And if you could please email them to me by 5 o'clock Sunday so we can get an idea of how many BMC members we need to schedule. I really appreciate that. Thanks.
Okay, no more committee reports. We're moving on to announcements. Marcy.
If you're interested in being an orientation leader for next year, feel free to stop by the Office of Student Activities and first year programs or email Laura Baldessari about getting an application.
Jake.
Sorry, I've talked a lot in this meeting. Drop the Opera is doing their annual acapella-grams. We'll be selling them in the club. If you don't know what they are, we come and sing for you on Saturday and Sunday. This Saturday and Sunday, it's $10 for 2 songs, and we come to you. They're short and nice. It's a nice way to celebrate Valentine's Day for someone. Or we can come to whole houses too, if you want to pay for that, and we can book multiple times if you want. We can also call people on the phone or Skype them if you want us to. I mean, that's funny, but it's true. So yeah, we'll do whatever you guys like. And yeah, and there's a song. We're running cup tables all week, 11 to 1, and there's a song list at the cup table. So.
Oh God. For any seniors in the room, there's a happy hour this weekend. It's a senior class gift campaign happy hour. It's from 5 to 8 in the attic. It's only open to seniors, and it's a great opportunity to give if you haven't already.
David.
Just another reminder that the Speak Up Right Out Journalism Conference is on Saturday, February 19th. Register for free at speakuprightout.com. There's free breakfast and lunch provided, and usually a bunch of panels from things like NBC News, CBS, and a bunch of other really cool media stations. So it's time for that.
The resolution 7 is Allies Week, and I just want to say thank you for passing that resolution in support of Allies Week. If you didn't see today, we had a cup table. We have another cup table on Wednesday, so be sure to stop by. Wear red on Wednesday. There's Safe Zone training tomorrow. Heather Gold in the Junction at 8 p.m. on Thursday, and she's really funny. I've seen some clips of her show. She's really funny. There's an e-race discussion on Friday at 3:30, and Lady Gaga Monster Ball in the attic at 9 p.m. on Saturday. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you all at each one of these events.
The Pre-Vet Hub is hosting the Adams County K-9 unit, police K-9 unit, this week at 11:30 on Thursday. Come and join. It's open to whole campus. We should have food for lunch. It's in 309, the Science Center. It's the back room in the long hallway. It'll be fun.
Ricardo.
All right. Tomorrow will be the second day of the blood drive. It's going to be from 12 to 6 in the ballroom. I apologize for anybody who donated and did not get a free blanket. Didn't have them today. Tomorrow they'll have twice as many. So if you donate or knew someone who did donate, they can come and get that free blanket. All right.
There is a movie night this weekend. Due date department.
It's really funny.
And snowball lanterns are on sale in the cup this week and next week. So.
Any other?
The Vagina Monologues are next
Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. in the Cub Ballroom, and we'll have a Cub table all next week selling t-shirts that say "Vagina is good" on the front. And also we're selling really sweet wristbands that say "Vagina strong" on them. So those are only $1. So if you don't want the t-shirt, you can get one of those. And all of the money that we raise goes to support, 10% goes to Haiti, and the other 90% goes to Survivors Inc., which is a local domestic violence shelter.
Any other announcements? Is there a motion?
Let's do adjourn.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.